Merry Christmas, Indie Warriors. Happy to be with you. Happy New Year. All of that jazz. Yes, it is time for the epic Steam Winter Sale, and I'm bringing you some of the hottest deals fresh off the press. As always, I thank you so much for supporting independent content here at I Dream of Indie Games. Patreon.com/IDreamOfIndieGames if you would like to help further our mission of bringing a voice to independent developers and publishers. Twitch.tv/IDreamOfIndieGames every single Wednesday now at 9 p.m. Eastern for sneak peeks at the latest indie games with the lovely OK Nia. Without further ado, let's get into some of these hot deals because I know that's what you're here for. Coming in hot, we have the last case of Benedict Fox at a historical low 75% discount, bringing it down to $6.24 here in the US of A. This Metroidvania title features a gorgeous art direction and a lovely soundtrack in a Lovecraftian setting. Now, I know what you might be thinking, hey, wait, Joe, didn't this game kinda suck when it launched? Well, yeah, it wasn't in the best of shape, but apparently it's come a long ways since then and has redeemed itself quite a bit. The developers have improved the stability of the game, they've fixed the audio, they've made the controls more responsive, and they've even redone some of the animations, so you gotta admire that they stuck the course. Or has it stayed the course? Whatever. Either way, pick this one up. It's in a pretty good state now, and fans seem to be enjoying it. Great price. Okay, so you know I'm shouting this game constantly. I featured it in our awards show. I featured it all over this channel because I'm a real believer in it. Gal Guardian's Demon Purge at a historical low. $17.49 for 30% off. Yeah, I know that's not a super steep discount, but it's still pretty damn good when you consider the fact that this game is worth full price. Gal Guardian's Demon Purge is a great little 2D action game where a school turns into a demonic castle that you need to take down. Go it solo and swap between the two girls, or even play two-player. Gotta love that. Great game, I've talked about it a ton. Pick this one up if you've yet to do so. You know, for a game that's all about blowing, this next deal is pretty sweet. It's Trombone Champ, which is at a 60% discount, bringing it to $5.99, originally released back in 2022 from Holy Wow Studios. There are over 50 tracks to blow your horn through, and the more you play, the more cards you earn, which can unlock additional characters, colors, and so much more. This game is an absolute riot. It's hilarious just to listen to it, but it's even more fun to actually play it. It's something I picked up a while back, and I don't regret it whatsoever, so at this price, it's an easy recommendation from me. In fact, there's never been a better time to jump in, because just in time for the holidays, they've released version 1.18, which brings 2 new holiday songs, the ability to perfect tracks, improved settings, bug fixes, and tons more. You can check out the notes over on the Steam page if you want to learn more about that, but grab this one. Definitely a great deal. Next up, if you're in the mood for some horror, well then Caustic Reality has the game for you. Currently at an 80% discount, bringing it down to $3.99, you can play Infliction Extended Cut on Steam PC right now. It's a game that I really enjoyed, and if you've been longing for PT, well, this game might at least make you feel a little bit better about the fact that that's never going to come out. Infliction is short but sweet, but it's downright terrifying, a little claustrophobic at times, and has some grisly, beautiful graphics. I originally played this one on the Nintendo Switch, but this version is far superior and I highly recommend it. A little bit on the short side, yes, but well worth it at the current listed price. Let's switch things up now with a great rhythm game that released back in 2016. Gosh, that was a long time ago now, but it's still just as fun to play today. We're talking about Thumper, which is a very violent looking and sounding rhythm game, unlike anything I've experienced up to that point. Well, right now you can experience it for yourself with a steep 80% discount, bringing it to an all-time low $3.99. Thumper features 9 hard-hitting levels, tons of boss battles for you to explore, very simplistic controls that are surprisingly effective, and excellent visuals. Can't recommend it enough. Brian Gibson's soundtrack is stunning. Moving right along, for some crazy reason, have you not picked up Hades yet? What are you thinking? Supergiant Games Classic is on sale right now at a super affordable price, and you can even get the soundtrack, which is excellent, bundled in with it. This action roguelike can be picked up for 55% off, bringing it to $15.73, and that's with the game and soundtrack. If you just want the game, it's 50%, $12.49. You probably don't need me to tell you much about Hades at this point. It's a great action romp, beautiful visuals, and it has a sequel coming up soon. Pick it up if you've yet to do so. An obvious no-brainer here. This next game I try to shout out every single time it goes on sale because it's that good, but even more so now because this is an all-time low. 75% off Kaze and the Wild Mass, folks. $4.99. You can also get the OST bundle on this one too for just $5.61, which is probably the better deal overall unless you absolutely don't listen to video game music. Either way, this one from Pixel Hive and Soy Desco is an awesome 90s inspired platformer, very much reminiscent to the Donkey Kong Country games. Awesome platforming mechanics, gorgeous visuals, lots of secrets, 30 levels plus, bonus levels on top of that. Wonderful pixel art, can't recommend it enough. I'm going to include this next game, honestly not knowing a lot about it, but I do know that it's one of the biggest games in I Dream of Indie Games history as far as views go. It was one that put us on the map. It's not a game that I reviewed, it's not even a reviewer that's with us anymore, but it is kind of special to me because it was the first game to really break through on our channel, and a lot of people do seem to really enjoy this game. It's Vampire's Fall Origins, which is currently discounted at 80% off, $2.59. It is an open world RPG of sorts, obviously a vampiric theme, which I'm always on board with. I love vampires myself. The combat is said to be quite tactical. There's over 250 weapons for you to discover, lots of different dialogue options here, all that good stuff if you're into this genre. The Steam version is supposed to be excellent with updated visuals. You've got controls with the controller support if you wish, Steam achievements, all that good stuff. Check it out, vampire lovers. Nostalgic as hell for me. This next deal is honestly kind of crazy. 70% off a game that's normally $60. $17.99, folks, for Crystar right now. Great deal. Silent Signs actually played this on the Switch and she greatly enjoyed it. It is an action RPG, but a very emotional one. You switch between a variety of different characters and learn more and more about them. This game's honestly pretty deep too. There's a lot of different systems to it. I liked it thematically. Really thought the visuals were pretty strong. The themes are what resonated with me though. I'm kind of a sappy guy. I'm a little bit emotional, and Crystar does pull at the heartstrings quite a bit, but the battle system's actually fairly interesting as well. So recommended at this price for sure. $17.99, a huge steal there, the lowest this game has ever been to my knowledge. Let's keep this train rolling, folks. Woo, these deals are sweet so far, and we're just getting started. Here's a newer game, a little bit of a softer discount, but it is still a historical low, and it did just come out back in November. We actually have a full review of this one on the channel if you're interested. Comes from the Behemoth, of course known for Alien Hominid, and this one is Alien Hominid Invasion, which is a little bit different from the original. Maybe that disappointed some folks, but it's still actually quite fun. This time around you have the online co-op, and it's more of a roguelike loop where you kind of take on wave after wave of enemy working together to survive and get stronger and stronger on each run. So yeah, it does kind of change things up from what the original was, which was more of a straightforward 2D shooter, but I still found it quite entertaining and pretty addicting too. You can grab it for 20% off, currently $15.99. Not too shabby considering all of the content that's in this game. It will keep you busy for a long time. I'm gonna shout out this next one because I believe it to be very criminally underrated. I like this game a lot. It's a cute little indie platformer called Unbound Worlds Apart with a unique system where you rely on portals quite a bit. These portals have quite a few different effects on the environment, and they're used to slow time and to help you progress forward. So for example, a block might be falling, you'll open a portal that will freeze that block, and then you can successfully hop over some spikes. That's just one example of how it's used, but I think it's used pretty cleverly throughout. There's actually a lot of different portals, 10 in total I believe. Some really good platforming here, fun level design, and a decent narrative as well. It's not going to win any awards in that department, but plenty of secrets and all that to keep you busy too. So well recommended, really great price, and it is Steam Deck verified, so you can enjoy it on there. Again, 75% off, $4.99, but you can also get it bundled with the soundtrack at 61% off, $11.18. This next one's for you stoners out there, Exo One, a game where you just drift as an alien aircraft through environments, you kind of just chill out and you enjoy the atmosphere. It's a very, very calming experience. A lot of folks really, really like it for that. A lot of people were bored to tears with that. So I guess it depends on your mood. Me personally, not really my thing, but I've heard from some of our staff that they absolutely love this game. 60% off, $6.79, so hard to complain about the price. If it looks at all interesting to you and you kind of just want to cruise as a UFO, well, here you go. Here's your cheapest price ever for Exo One. But now we are talking more my language with Signalis, 30% off, $13.99. A great survival horror game in the classical style, which is exactly what I was looking for at the time of its release back in October of 2022, and it's exactly what I'm looking for to this day. I love this genre, and I think Signalis is one of the best to do it in modern times. Really cool sci-fi themes, dark, gritty story, some cyberpunk elements to it. Great art direction on this one, great game design all around, some really, really clever puzzles. The combat's pretty good too. It's not quite as good when compared to the amazing puzzles in this game that will just have you pulling your hair out, but in the best possible way. But overall, I consider Signalis a classic, very overlooked. Great game. Pick this one up at this price for sure. Even though it's not a 50% discount or a 60% discount, this is the lowest the game has gone to my knowledge as well. $13.99 is really good for a classic. Okay, then let's go to another critically overlooked indie that I love. 60% off here, $7.99. No-brainer, Mighty Goose. Highly overlooked game, a great tribute to the Metal Slug series with that same visual style, fast frantic action, lots of different guns, crazy weapons, lots of secrets in this game, awesome animations. I loved everything about Mighty Goose. I don't understand why this game wasn't more popular when it launched, because I always thought it was great. There were complainers out there. I think some of it had to do with the lack of co-op maybe when it first launched, but it appears that they've added split screen co-op now and some other options as well. So it's been updated quite a bit since it's released back in 2021. I don't know, Mighty Goose is just a lot of fun. If you're a big fan of the Metal Slug franchise and you love run and gun action games, pick this one up for sure. $7.99, good price here. All right, let's do one more for this list, and I'm doing this one based on all of y'all out there because you've told me how great this game is, and I haven't played it, so I don't see it on discount too often. I think this might be my opportunity to strike, but the game is called Pizza Tower. It was released in January of this year. You can currently get it 25% off for $14.99. My understanding is it's a tribute to the Wario Land series, which I didn't play a ton of growing up, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a score attack element to this. The animations do look fantastic. I'm a big 90s guy. I grew up in the 90s as a kid. I loved it. So obviously this does speak to me. There are 5 different floors to go through, and you'll just have to let me know in the comments below why I should buy this one. All right, that's the deal. And if you leave me some comments telling me why, and leave me comments what you think about all of these games, well then maybe I'll just make another video for you, okay? Because this Steam sale is awesome, as they usually are. There are so many deals that I didn't cover in this video, but this is getting long-winded. We will do a part 2, I promise though, even if you don't comment. Thanks so much for your support of independent content here at I Dream of Indie Games. I hope I've helped you to find some great games for the holiday. Thank you for tuning in as always. I'll see you in the next video, folks. Voice to the voiceless.